Welcome back to Kiesel News, everybody. And let's get into the biggest story today, first things first, which is that the Star Wars Acolyte trailer has released. And I have to say, the show looks really good and really polished. It doesn't look low budget, and it definitely does resemble Andor, which they said it was what they were going for. The reason why it probably looks higher budget as well is since it's not using volume, which is what Mandalorian and Ahsoka have been using. And it's not that Mandalorian and Ahsoka look terrible. They have a lot of good direction and a lot of good moments, but it's just the overuse of volume, I think, has kind of made it look a bit too saturated, a bit too just tired, you know? It's probably because so much of Volume's time is spent on desert planets like Tatooine or even Lothal that it's just refreshing to see new planets, new locations, more aliens, just more unique things. So that probably makes the look of the show stand out more as well. Aside from how the show looks, the plot is very interesting as we're finally breaking away from the Skywalker saga, finally stepping into new territory, new characters, and apparently there's going to be some EU and Legends lore sprinkled in as well. I don't know if that means those Darth Raven rumors are true or whatever, or if it means we're going to be getting some Plagueis stuff. But honestly, I feel like Plagueis should maybe only get mentioned or something. I don't think they should have him in here, as the show should be standalone. If it's gonna go to a new time period, be the first part of a new time period, then it should stand on its own with like a cameo from Yoda at the most or something. If it truly is going to be a multi-season show, maybe in season 2 they add in more Plagueis stuff or more Easter eggs to the future or whatever. But for now, it should just stay on its own, especially just to get Star Wars in a good public eye again, because that's what everyone sees Star Wars as, is just nostalgia bait at this point. Even if I think a lot of it is done well, it'd be nice to change the public perception a bit. That's pretty much all for the trailer because it didn't really reveal much that we didn't already know. It's just a teaser, really. But there is one other piece of news regarding the Acolyte, aside from the fact that Squid Game man Lee Jung Jae is a main lead, that I found interesting, which is that there is writers that have not seen any Star Wars in the past. And I know that I originally thought that this was a terrible idea back when I watched a lot of Star Wars theory and all that. Who I do respect to a degree for the amount of awesome fanfics he's created. But he's the type of person who says he wants to see different in Star Wars, but really he just wants a lot of fan service, I find. And I was kind of hopping on his train of, if you don't understand what Star Wars is, then you shouldn't be writing it. But I think having a balance is important. Of course, there should be some people on the writing staff who know something about Star Wars, so you don't get like, I don't know, Glup Shido sex tape as your product, even though that would be kind of cool. Or if you're writing for an already established character, then yes, I think you should know the franchise. Like, I don't want someone who's never seen Star Wars writing the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, right? But for something that's going to have new characters and breathe new life into the franchise, there's nothing wrong with having new writers involved. And I'm not going to act like I'm some revolutionary person for coming up with this take. I think everyone should have this take, but I just find it remarkable that some people don't, and they just want the same thing over and over, you know? I get being protective over your franchise, but there comes a point where you need to let it grow. In other news, Travis Kelsey is hosting the new reboot for Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? I don't know who made this choice because, sure, Travis Kelsey is at the peak of his popularity now, but when him and Taylor Swift inevitably break up, his popularity will go down, and then no one will watch the show, most likely. I mean, it'll still have its regular game show audience, I guess, including me, probably. Next, we have the organizer of the Willy Wonka AI event complaining about receiving hate online. Like, bro, what do you expect? For starters, you're on the internet, a place where a 2-year-old could get harassed with death threats for not knowing complex algebra. And you're complaining about making a genuine mistake and messing up with this event and getting hate for it? Like, if I was in his shoes, I'd be like, yeah, we fucked up. This event was pretty bad. Maybe I kind of deserve all this. And I'd do some self reflecting. Obviously, if he was getting death threats or something, that's a bit different. But people are mostly just memeing about it. I don't see a lot of people that were that serious, aside from the stuff with AI, but that isn't really attacking the organizer. I guess you could say his thought process is unknown. Alright, that's all the news for today, but before I go, just look at this fucking ridiculous outfit. What the fuck is Kanye doing, man? This shit's as embarrassing as those old guys with the overalls where you can see their ass crack poking out. About as funny, too, though. Like, holy shit.